Crusaders, and welcome to another edition of Batman, the Animated Series podcast. I'm your host, Alex Robson, and with me, as always, is my co-host, my brother, comic book artist and lighter, and the guy who's known as the Mad Bomber to his toilet after a spicy curry. It's Mr. Will Robson. Say hello, Will.
You've spoken to my toilet personally, have you?
I'm not the Mad Bomber, Alex. You were the only one who had curry that night. You knew. All right, speaking of that, shall we review this episode?
Yes, we should.
Now, some actor creds. We got Bruce Timm as Ted Dimer, the Mad Bomber. We all know who Bruce Timm is, so no need to mention creds there. And if you don't know who Bruce Timm is, then how are you even listening to this podcast?
No judging. This could be someone's first time listening.
Maybe.
The art designer of the show.
And the co-creator, yeah.
And the co-creator. So there you go. You never know. It could be someone's first one. You don't want to gatekeep on. It's not a good look.
That's true. And then finally, we've got...
If you don't know who Bruce Timm is, why do you even listen to this podcast?
And then finally, we've got Adam West as the Grey Ghost. Another we probably don't need to mention, but just in case, he played Batman in the famous 1966 live-action.
If you don't know that, Adam West in 1966.
Okay, some fun facts out of my utility belt here. We got... When Simon Trent opens his closet to retrieve a reel of an episode of The Grey Ghost, one of the tapes is labeled Dr. Death. The character Dr. Death was the first ever reoccurring villain in the Batman comics. Another episode is titled Terror in the Sky, which went on to become a Man-Bat episode. There's also another episode titled Grey Ghost Returns, an obvious reference to the comic book The Dark Knight Returns. So that's cool that they did that. At the end of the episode, a picture of Matt Hagen can be seen advertising him as the Man of a Million Faces. Matt Hagen will go on to become Clayface in later episodes, so they're already planting a little fun seed, building the universe there of having Matt Hagen be an actor. In Simon Trent's apartment, a Grey Ghost poster shows a giant version of the hero bearing a gun as he stands above skyscrapers. This is an homage to the Shadow comic, titled Shadow Millions, which has a similar image, and of course the Shadow was an inspiring character for Bob Kane and Bill Finger when creating Batman.
Yeah.
Thought that was cool. Much of the music from this episode, including the Grey Ghost theme, is inspired by the soundtrack of the Fleischer Superman cartoon, which totally makes sense. There is some ambiguity surrounding this episode's title. On the title card, it's spelt Beware the Grey Ghost. On the box of the original VHS release, it was called Beware the Grey Ghost. The box of the DVD release, however, calls it Beware of the Grey Ghost. And now it's titled Beware of Grey Ghost on DVD menus.
It's just eventually just going to be called Beware Ghost. That is grey, in parentheses. How did that get up so many different times?
I know, right? But it's in the title. It's right there on the title card.
Oh, it must have just been someone like last minute, like you're typing all the episodes up, and so someone wrote "Beware the Grey Ghost." Is like, is there supposed to be a comma in there? Like "Beware the Grey Ghost," or like "Beware the Grey Ghost."
Yeah, someone had a
"Beware
real
the Grey Ghost"
grammar conundrum there.
Yeah,
like...
so some English student that just graduated was like putting this DVD together. I was like, I don't know what to do.
It needs a possessive vowel. I don't know what to do. Did you notice this? There's another fun fact here. Alfred's mustache is white in this episode, whilst in all others it's black.
No, he must have forgot to dye it that morning.
Yeah.
I think that's why he came out with Bruce that morning.
Yeah,
like,
he had a lovely day out.
I know, it was so funny seeing Alfred out on an adventure with Bruce, because this is the type of shit Bruce Wayne would do by himself, right?
Yes.
So I just feel like he's like, Alfred, I've got to go and I've got to find this film reel so I can solve the mystery of the Grey Ghost and the bombings. Oh, that sounds nice, sir. I'll come with you. I've got some things I need to do. Got some dry cleaning, got some mustache dye. The library sounds fun. I've been meaning to look a few things up, and yes, I'll come with you, sir.
He also says the oldest man thing in the world, where he's like, I wish I could help you, but I don't watch television. I enjoy my fireplace. Like, that's the saddest thing in the world.
All right, Alfred. Jesus, way to freaking act like you're cooler than me. Oh, my God.
But how cool is watching your fireplace? Think about that scenario. You're sitting there
Nothing
just watching.
Cool about it, sir. Gotcha.
I think it's really sad where he's like got nothing else to do, so he just watches the flames in his fireplace like a sad old man.
I wish Thomas and Martha were still alive.
She had a great
The cake on Martha Wayne. Whoa.
All right, let's get into this review. What did you think of this episode, bud?
I mean, animation, beautiful, right?
Yes.
And the great colors. I like the way Batman looked when the explosions were off and he was like grey and orange and it looked great. There's one of the best, coolest shots of Batman in this show when he shows up to stop Bruce Timm and he's just in that doorway in silhouette.
Love that Batman.
Such a good shot of him. Batman just looks great in this episode overall. And it's a great episode. I mean, it's quite, it's well told and it's a good story. But the problem I have is that this all could have been so easily avoided. Like, the fact that he's this guy that's like, oh, no one cares about my show anymore because the prints have apparently been all destroyed, so no one wants to buy any of my merchandise. Except I own all the prints to the show.
Thank you.
I'm keeping them in my wardrobe. When all you had to do was release them, people go, oh my god, I love this show. They get back into it. Kids that are now collectors will go, I'll buy the Grey Ghost outfit and I'll give you like $10,000 to $20,000 for it. Oh, look, now you've got yourself like rent for the next.
Hell, I know
years.
A billionaire in Gotham City who would pay a very handsome price for all of those film reels. Yeah, he could have made bank. It's the only copies that exist he has.
Which he does in the end, which is just so like, come on, mate. Like,
I know. So what did you think of the character, the Grey Ghost, in this episode?
Great, yeah. I like that he says, like, I thought that Batman was a bit harsh when he said to him, like, you're not like the Grey Ghost I remember. And, like, the actor was like, yeah, it was a character I played on TV. I'm an actor. I am struggling. Like, I don't make any money off of this show because it's not on television anymore. And I've got a billionaire looking at me, judging me. And I'm nothing like his childhood hero. I'm sorry that you grew up with psychological issues and looked at my character as a way of life when I was literally just playing somebody on television. So don't come to me with your all right? Back up, take a bigger look at things, and off.
Whoopsie.
You're not very nice, Grey Ghost. I'm not the Grey Ghost. I'm an actor. Why do you look exactly like him then? Are you all right? Do you actually think I'm the character from the show? You don't understand. The mass bomber is back. We gotta stop him. You're the only one that can help. I also thought that, didn't he just sell his Grey Ghost costume?
Yeah, but Batman brought it back.
Oh, right, yes, that's right.
That was the other thing that really threw me up. So there's that scene where, like, Simon Trent's like, you paid the rent for the last time, old chum. And then he, like, falls asleep. And then he wakes up and his merchandise is completely, like, his shrine is fixed. And his suit is back. And I'm like, how deep of a sleep were you in? Because Batman would have to haul all of that through the window.
Well, like Santa Claus is just like inching across the floor. And you know, he sees him and he mouths to himself like, oh my god, it's the Grey Ghost. And it's just like his childhood hero fast asleep. Probably like saying racist stuff under his breath. I wish I didn't hear that.
Yeah, well, that's not cool, Grey Ghost. But also, he must have made several trips through that window because he's not going through the front door.
Alfred's there as well, like creeping and holding stuff.
It's the Grey Ghost, sir.
It's your childhood hero, sir. I know, Alfred. I know. It's exciting. I've glued back together the pieces of this toy, sir. Put it back on the shelf. Oh.
But it must have taken him ages. And I was like, did he drug him? Like, that's the only way.
Or he just, like, he was asleep and he just walked up to him and just went, bop! And just hit him on the face. Like, yeah, that'll keep him out for an extra few hours. How do you think it looks, sir? I think it looks pretty good, Alfred. Oh, hey, he's waking up. We gotta go. Also, the other thing about that scene is he's like, meet me in this alleyway or something like that, you know, far away, whatever.
Yeah.
So the guy has to get up and travel there. God knows if that costs him any money or not. I have no idea.
Yeah, probably. Bus fare and everything.
So he goes and does it, and then he runs away from Batman, and then Batman's just in his apartment, and I was like, he must have been like, if you knew I was here, I'm an old man, why did you make me walk all the way down to that street corner, like, and then run away from you? My knees are broken, my back is destroyed, I'm going to die now. You could have just come here in the first place.
You're nothing like the Grey Ghost, I see that now. I'm an old man! The beginning of this episode is great, though. Like, I really loved how we get the opening credits of the Grey Ghost, and then we transition into the living room. We see young Bruce.
Yeah.
He's dressed up as the Grey Ghost, and Kevin Conroy being Thomas Wayne, he just sounds just like Thomas Wayne, you know? Like, even though it's a Bruce voice, it's not an exact replica.
Time for all little gray ghosts to be in bed.
And I thought that was great, because, like, sometimes we're mistaken to sound like our dad, right? Like, we answer the phone, and I like how that kind of plays out in this, that they have a similar voice.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's one animation shot where it, like, pans all the way around
Yes.
Bruce and goes into his iris and stuff.
It's amazing.
And I was like, wow, that was a lot of commitment for such a small shot.
Yeah, and it was really nice seeing Bruce just, like, in a room with his dad, and he's just happy, and he's young, and he's safe.
Want to go to the theater, son?
The Grey Ghost is playing. That would be so bad if actually
Your
that
mom's
was
up for it, too.
After she's been slapping her cakes in Alfred's face. But that would be so
Apparently,
messed up.
Alfred thinks that Martha's got like 2 pieces of cake. What do you think about that stuff? That's my mother, Daddy. You shouldn't ask me questions like that.
She's got her favorite toy is the Grey Ghost as well.
That's the nickname for my penis, son. And one day it'll be the nickname for yours.
That's his mom. I did love Alfred discovering the dirt at the video store. It reminded me of like when our family comes around to one of our houses and we think we've cleaned it like from top to bottom, but they find that one spot that's dirty and then they judge you so hard for it. That so reminded me of that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, I just still love this idea of like Alfred like being a detective out there is just swiping like dust. I'd say probably 2 months without a good dust. Untrustworthy folk, if you ask me.
So I think I found a clue. This dust is grey. Could it have anything to do with the Grey Ghost?
The grey dust, sir. Could be. This is him. This is the guy.
Yeah, that video store clerk, he was a bit of a character because, like, first of all, he was drinking out of a fast food cup with 2 straws. I was like, do you need it that bad where you have 2 straws? Do you gotta suck it all down? And he looked more like an adult video store owner. Like, I think Alfred took Bruce to, like, the wrong place, and the store owner is like, I got every video ever made. You like big butts? You like role-playing?
I do. Big rich bottoms. Do you have anything on that category?
You into maids? Or maybe butlers? Like, what do you want? So Bruce watching The Grey Ghost as an adult and eating popcorn just, like, reminded me of exactly how I am now watching Batman the Animated Series. Like, remembering being a kid, like, eating popcorn, just, like, living in that nostalgic past, baby. That's great.
I know I'm trying to solve buildings blowing up, but, you know, I'm having a bit of a nostalgic kick right now.
Do we have any pogs, Alfred? That's what I want to know.
I think a special edition Pog came with the popcorn, sir. Oh, it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, sir. Ooh, who is it? It's Raphael, sir. Oh, that's my favorite Alfred. When everyone that sees these cars gasps so hard. Did you see Batman gasp in the alleyway? He's like, I've never seen Batman go grrr, like a gasp, like I'm gonna blow up.
Do you think because Batman's like, this is how I die? You know, like remote-controlled toy cars?
A toy car from my favorite kids show, The Grey Ghost. It would be a good death, but not today.
And I'm like, Batman, you've got a utility belt. He was like, what do I do in this alleyway?
What do I do, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, your grappling gun? That would be a start.
Yeah, you're right. Just, why don't I just grapple myself out of the situation?
Bye.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Batmobile chase down the alley with the remote control cars and the shots?
Yeah, it was alright.
I thought it was pretty cool. Again, the Batmobile was showcased in a really cool way in this episode, I thought, and like wasn't there for just the purpose of him driving it, but like you saw all the cool things it did. I thought the animation was good. I thought it was clever that it was in an alleyway as well, because then you can't just drive away from these remote controlled toy cars as easily because you're in a confined space.
That's true. There's only one way you can go.
Yeah. But there was so much destruction and explosions and damage from that whole car chase. Most likely people were probably killed, yet Batman just drives off and Grey Ghost is like, hey, we did it, partner! You killed so many people and caused so much property
that's for
damage.
The rich billionaires and property owners to fix, am I right, old chum? I'm gonna have to pay for all that, aren't I?
Why are you Bruce Wayne?
Maybe I'll hint at you later on.
Do you like that Batman replicated the Batcave after the Grey Ghost lair? Do you like that fact?
No.
I don't either.
It's the Batcave.
Yeah.
It's just for Batman. What is it, the Ghost Cave? What is it? That makes no sense.
It makes no sense, yeah.
Unless it's his tomb, then that makes more sense. Or his grave.
Yeah, maybe. But
is it the Ghost Grave, and then he calls it the Batcave? All right, yeah, you can make it work.
Maybe. I love how you're creating lore for the Grey Ghost there.
Like I'm Dave Filoniing old stuff right now. Like, I gotta make this work.
Yeah, I didn't like that because he's like, it's an exact replica. And I'm like, why? Just it doesn't have to be everything.
Is that what he said? The Batcave is an exact replica of the Grey Ghost thing?
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
No.
Batman's just a nerd then. Like, he's just a big nerd.
Yes, that's the thing. Like,
I'm surprised he became Batman and just didn't actually take up the mantle of the Grey Ghost. Like the Justice League comes, he's like, we can all meet at my Batcave. And so they go there like, wait, this looks just like from the Grey Ghost. Yeah. I'm a huge fan. It's like, what?
You're just a fanboy? That's who you are? Deep down?
Yeah. I really want to be the Grey Ghost, but it's all like tied up in, copyright and trademarks and stuff, so I guess I just have to be Batman. I saw bats when I fell in a little hole, and I got scared of them, and my daddy helped me out of them, and then he got shot, and then I said, what should I be? And a bat smashed through the window and landed on the statue's head of my dad, and I went, yes, Father, I'll be a bat. But if a ghost was there, if my dad's ghost was standing there, and he was grey, I would have been the Grey Ghost. I left it to fate.
Do you think that's how the Grey Ghost got his name? He was visited by, like, a ghost?
Yes, Father, I shall become the Grey Ghost.
Is his dad's ghost like, yes, that's what I'm telling you to do?
Literally is what I mean. I'm glad you understood. When you die, you can choose the color of your spirit, and I chose grey on purpose, so you become the Grey Ghost.
Go get him, son. It's funny how Batman is all endearing to the Grey Ghost 1 minute by telling him, like, you were my hero and I watched your show with my father. And then he immediately in the next minute thinks he's the Mad Bomber, and he's, like, aggressively interrogating him, like, you were the only one that knew this, and you were the only one with fingerprints, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Batman, that's some really, like, wishy-washy, like, up and down.
Alfred's like, I don't know, sir. I still think it might be the video store clerk. We have to look into it.
He's charging me late fees on Big Booty Call. I returned it. I rewound it.
I swear I f***ing rewound that thing.
I thought that the Mad Bomber's plan was pretty sad. Like, he's like, I'm going to rent in the city so I can have money to collect more toys. And I'm like,
it's something like one of those little incelly nerds would f***ing do anyway.
Yeah, true. Like, that's another path I could have taken if I was, like, a real, like, obsessive fan. I must have Batman the Animated Series toys. And then at the end of the episode, Simon Trent is doing a signing as the Grey Ghost after saving the city, and Bruce hints to him that he and Batman are one and the same, which I thought was really well delivered by Kevin Conroy, like, very heartfelt. I thought Conroy did an amazing job, as always, in this episode. And I've heard and read stories about, like, him and Adam West in the booth and recording that day, and, like, how great it was. But that moment is slightly ruined, however, as they cut back to the Grey Ghost, and he just has this, like, slack-jaw smile, like he's, like frozen, and then the camera just pans up, and it ends, and I'm like, that was weird.
Me and my wife cracked up, because it looked like he had the cheekiest little smile on his face, like, wait a minute, you're Batman! like in his head.
Well, imagine if he went it further, because, I mean, when he went, really?
Everyone, that's Batman.
Yeah, he sold his
Bruce
videos.
Wayne is Batman, everybody.
He's got no alliance to Batman anymore. He sold his videos, and now he's famous again. Why not make more money? Yeah, that's Batman. Get him.
And also, the Batcave is just a replica of the ghost, the grey. What do we call it? The ghoul tombstone. What is it?
The ghost grave.
The ghost grave.
Up with.
Sorry, I'm having a stroke now, everybody.
And that is the end of the episode. Join us next time where we'll continue talking all things Batman, the animated series. Until then, I've been Alex Robson.
I've been the Grey Ghost.
And remember that we are vengeance, we are the night, we are a podcast.
Goodbye.
Toodle!